Now, what is up, YouTube? Now, look, I am so proud and happy to say I'm 24 years old. I thought this moment would never happen in my life. When I was younger, I thought 4K was a lot of money. I'm from the South, Louisiana. 4K was a lot of money to me. My parents never even touched 4K their entire lifetime working monthly. But this month, as a 24-year-old, I'm going to tell you and teach you all how you can make 20K in a month. If I could do it, anybody could do it just by strategically placing yourself in the position in order to make 20K a month. Now, how did I make 20K this month? I'm going to tell you how. It's real simple. So I'm in the military. That's my base pay right there. My BH base pay right there. And I'm married. 7.5 grand after taxes. So that's 7.5K that we're looking at after taxes. E5 in the military, married in San Diego. Additionally, got my federal tax return, filed taxes, married filing jointly, 5 grand back in taxes. So when you do that, that's already 12.5 grand, right? Another 1,000 in state taxes, since I get state taxes in Mississippi, even though I live in California now, because I'm in the military. You're looking at, what is this? So we're at 12.5K. You add 1,000, we're at 13.5K. TikTok. Now on TikTok, I had 20K followers. You have to make 1-minute videos in order to get paid. It's the TikTok Creator Rewards Program. $1,000 off of that I think I got like 600K views. You know, they pay per views and then other stuff, depending on how much responses your videos actually get. And that's just from posting the military uniform, doing commentary, doing other things. Simple, right? So we're at 14.5K right now. Now, I am in college, and the military has this big advantage. If you use your Montgomery GI Bill and you maximize it, you get paid an extra $2,500 a month. So 14.5 grand plus 2,500, that's 17K. So not necessarily 20K, but $17,000 I touched this month. If you don't understand how crazy that is, my credit card, I had 17K in debt because I was a big partier. Before I ever got married, when I first joined the military, didn't know what I was doing. All I did was gym, go home, drank with the boys. On the weekends, I would go out and party, do all that degenerate stuff, right? Finally decided to get my life together, cleared half my debt this month, paid 10K off of that 17K on my credit card. That's insane. Is that not insane? Because you would never expect. And the crazy thing is, next year, whenever I get my tax return and everything else, is going to be more. Oh, wait. I did forget to add one thing, because I don't just work in the military. 19K that I made this month. And it's 19K because I work for Sunrun. I am a solar salesman. You know, you go out door to door, knock on doors, but I don't have my home improvement salesman's license yet, so I can't knock on doors. All I can do is cold call. And if you never cold called anybody before, sales is hard. Like, most people hang up on you or they just don't answer at all. Especially, imagine trying to sell a solar panel to somebody who owns a house over the phone. Nearly impossible. But base pay here in California is $1,690. You work 35 to 40-hour weeks. Guess how much I make a month? $2,000 just cold calling people every single day. So that's $19,000 that I made this month. $19,000 as a 24-year-old. Now listen, you don't understand how much money that is. That's a whole car, or at least half of a car. Whatever car that you wanted, 20K. Most people never even see 5K a month in their lifetime. But it shows you that being educated and putting your mindset and your time in the right places is ultimately what gets you to a certain goal point, what gets you to a certain financial point, a certain point in your life where you can actually explore other options and live comfortably. Now, imagine if you stack that every single month. Now, you're not going to get a tax return every month, but I am going to get my 7.5K base pay, and I am going to get my 2.5K from education. What's that? That's 10 grand a month, and I am going to get my 2 grand from solar sales, guaranteed. And then if I make sales, then it's way more than that, but we're looking at 12K a month, every single month. At 24 years old, because I'm putting my time and effort in the right places, we're making 12K a month. What am I going to do with the money that I have saved over? My monthly expenses, because I have a Mustang and a Toyota Tacoma. Are both basically brand new. That cost me like 2 grand a month. Then my rent's another $2,500 a month. Then other expenses. I'm looking at about $6K in expenses, which means I have $6,000 that I can roughly invest in the S&P 500. If I continue this path for 2-3 years, I'm looking at over 100K saved. Do you not understand how insane it is? At 24 years old, 100K saved. Now, you could apply the same logic that I'm doing at 18 years old. Straight out of high school, you go to the military. You know, if you're married, you get paid even more, so that's the benefits. If not, you have to wait to get your BH until you're E5. Now, I'm not telling you to go in the military and do all this, et cetera, et cetera. I'm just telling you what I did. But you can do that, get your Montgomery GI Bill, make your $2,500 a month, and you're working on a college degree, and you're going to accelerate that college degree because the military gives you credits. Bro, life is what you make it. And I'm so happy. I mean, you can look around. Look, I'm in my underwear right now, so don't look too far down, but I don't live in the nicest place in the world. You know, you're probably like, this guy made 20K this month and he lives in this. Yes. Yes, oftentimes the people with money are the ones you least suspect it. Not saying that I have money, because I don't. I'm broke as hell. Don't take that out of context. But isn't it beautiful? Isn't it beautiful knowing that you can make 10 to 20K in a month? I'm making 12K right now. 12K every single month. It's just, I'm grateful. I'm grateful, but I also worked so hard, and so many systems have worked against me. I've had so many disciplinary actions held against me. So many people that don't believe in you. And then there's people that are like, even when you get there, you start to notice that nobody really cares besides yourself. You thought your family would care. You thought your friends would care. And you care so much about others' opinions when you're younger, but then you get older, start to build your family, you have your wife, your husband, whatever the case may be. And you really just start to realize everything in life just becomes comfortable. Nobody starts expecting more out of you or less out of you anymore. They're just like, yeah, that's him. That's his life. And then everybody looks at you as that man or woman. Or when you start making this much, people, they want to get their hands in everything and start taking. Yeah, I mean, life is what you make it. And I just made this video to show y'all that it's 100% possible. It is 100% possible to make 10 to 20K a month. And 10 to 20K a month is living comfortably. And wherever you invest that money and save that money, really it's about how much you save. And you can be rich, man. You could be rich. 10, 20 years of doing that, investing, bro, $500 to $1 million if you invest a couple thousand a month. But yeah, that is how I made 20K a month. So let's run it back. I made it from my military job, tax return, state tax return, so federal tax return, state tax return, and then Sunrun and my TikTok. 5 things. It's that simple, man. It's that simple. I'm not saying it's simple, but when you look at everything with a goal or a plan, it becomes simple. So thank you all for tuning in, and see you all in the next one. Please like, comment, subscribe for more content, and peace.